Welcome to the next episode of Revolutionary Talk. New series, Wellness Truths Exposed.
Oh, let's go.
Let's go. First episode, if you're skinny, you're healthy, right?
I mean, that's what I've told myself my whole life, and I don't think that's true. What do you think?
I've seen a lot of skinny people eat a lot of unhealthy food.
Yeah. I mean, that used to be my diet back in the day. It's a blessing and a curse, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I was able to eat McDonald's probably 3 times a day and drink about the 3 Dr. Peppers. And then I remember going to the doctor and my A1C was 0.1 or 0.2 away from prediabetes. That was at age 25.
Oh my gosh.
But I had a lot of stress too, so. But I'm going to guess it's probably all the maltodextrin and McDonald's and crap I was eating, so.
So was that a point in your life that you were pretty is that you were less weight then or more weight?
I think I was 150 pounds. That's when I was trying to get big and was worried about my shape, and I was toxic Chris at the time. So yeah, that was not good. And then
toxic Chris.
And looking back at it, that was very unhealthy. And though people saw me, they were probably like, dang, he's shredded. I didn't feel good. Felt the worst I'd ever felt in my whole life. So.
Yeah, I mean, literally, if you have a fast metabolism and have that benefit, you could be skinny. Mm-hmm. But everything else could be terrible.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't feel good at that time either. I think it was awful. That's what I think. I don't think you can look at health from the inside, right? Or from the outside. From the outside in?
Looking at the mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, or to look at somebody else and be like, oh, they're skinny, they must be healthy.
Yeah.
That's a lot of times I feel like the assumption out there, and it's we have to dig deeper, because to be skinny sometimes, unfortunately, there's some people that do unhealthy things to themselves to get to that point that they're that skinny.
What kind of people are you talking about here?
Like eating disorders, for instance.
Okay.
Yeah, for one.
Yeah.
I mean, because if we're made to believe that we have to be counting calories and the fat that we're putting in and our carbohydrates on the label and all of that, and then thinking that we're overeating based on that idea, then we may find ourselves in a mental state that we're having to reverse what we did to ourselves.
No, it's funny you mentioned that too, because at the time I was very mentally ill, because I was like, I gotta eat 3,500 calories and it's all gotta be protein, and we'll get into that later, but oh my God.
Yeah.
It was so stressful looking back at it. I would never do that to myself again.
Yeah, and all that time that you were stressing about what you're putting in, that's adding more stress.
Yeah, my cortisol was probably up to here. Oh, gosh.
That's crazy. So how can someone better evaluate if they're healthy than to look in the mirror?
When I started my health and wellness journey, I really took my, how do I say this? I stepped back and took my view and felt how how do I say this?
You based it more off how you felt rather than how you looked?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I based it more on how my clothes felt when I wore them versus what the scale read when I stepped on it.
Yeah. That's what we even did that with Spencer, back in the day when he was losing weight and getting fit. It was I remember him coming out of his room one day and was like, dude, these shorts haven't fit in 10 years. And I was like, boom, but he'd only lost 5 pounds at the point, but it was his waist size shrunk so quick. And
especially around the waist, that's a big spot of where we notice that weight packing on too. So when your shorts fit differently, especially your workout pants, oh my gosh, it's whoa, how did that happen?
Yeah. We'd always tell people too back in that time too, never look at the scale. The scale lies. It can, the moon can have more gravity on you, and you're gonna weigh more. You can have be water, full of water. There's so many elements that go into the scale that it's back to being skinny. Okay, you weigh 120. Are you healthy? No, your labs are crap. So.
Well, and muscle weighs more than fat too, so that's a huge thing. That's why.
And it burns way more calories.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. The weight thing. If you have I've noticed a female around, so my wife, that's her big thing is to look at the scale. We actually don't have a scale in our house.
Yeah, I don't think
I don't want one.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
it causes problems. Like I said, if you're dehydrated, you can drop 5 pounds.
Yeah.
And be like, yes, I'm 5 pounds lighter. And then you're like, oh, drink a gallon of water.
Yeah.
I bet you weigh 2 pounds more
You
than what
need your
used to.
water. You need your water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do you have any tests for anybody that they could utilize to like see if they're in a healthier place, or how can people evaluate that?
I mean, really going back to the foundations, like we've been talking about throughout all of our podcasts, the foundations of wellness and making sure that we're staying hydrated with water, with pure H2O, and getting enough sleep and making sure or helping our bodies digest food easily. Eating whole foods is a big thing with helping to, manage a healthy weight and to avoid that stress of feeling like you need to count calories or carbs or all of that.
That's true too. If you eat whole foods, it's super hard to eat. Like if you try to eat 2,000 calories and eat like fruits, vegetables, and whole foods, it is almost impossible, and you'll drive yourself insane. But you'll feel way better than you did if you eat 2,000 calories by just eating.
Yeah, and it helps to have those good digestive enzymes in the fruits and vegetables too. It's your body like, yes, I know this stuff.
Yeah.
So
and it's not processed.
Yeah, not processed. It's all the junk that we think is food because it's what is sold to us, the drive-thrus and whatnot.
Yeah.
Not just the drive-thrus. It's in the stores too, but all of that extra processed stuff that our bodies just aren't able to recognize and digest, and then just sticks to us internally.
Yeah, no, that's so true. Any products in mind for people that might want to get on a better track and eat whole foods? Where could they look to if maybe they need some extra calories, but they don't want to go to anything processed?
Biggest first step I would say is eating more organic fruits and vegetables for sure. And if you're eating meat, then look for meat that is farm raised or grass fed. A lot of times we want to trust what the label says, but then when you actually do the research behind the agriculture industry, which I encourage everybody to do, that makes a huge difference on how our bodies literally digest that food too. So
awesome.
Energetically and physically.
For sure. Stress is transferred.
Stress is transferred.
Boom. Even if you're skinny.
Awesome. All right, so last tip, don't look in the mirror and judge yourself solely based on that. Hopefully you all gained some great advice from this one. Next week, we're going to talk about if fat and carbs are bad for you. Stay tuned. Come back to us next week. Thanks for watching.